Hi, this is Shawn Carney, the President and CEO of 40 Days for Life, and I am so excited to be here in Jacksonville, Florida for First Coast and their wonderful 5 locations throughout this very important part of Florida to offer loving alternatives to women, to men, and to offer the love of Jesus Christ as they offer their many medical resources, including free pregnancy tests and free ultrasounds and all the wonderful things. And so for those of you who are unable to attend the banquet on Thursday, October the 29th, be sure that you go to their website and you still give, because we have learned over time throughout the pro-life movement, especially in 2020, that you cannot get COVID-19 if you donate to your local pregnancy center online. And so it is a safe way to give, and it goes straight to the front lines during what has obviously been a very challenging year. And I think when we look at the media coverage and so much of the news, and obviously so much of it is negative, it cannot lead us to despair. And we also can't put too much emphasis on 2020. Because of those of us who have been in the pro-life movement, and your wonderful leader, Judy, and all of the pregnancy center directors across the country, some of whom have been leading this movement longer than I've been alive, we know that we have to back up in 2020. There's a lot of people losing their minds. And when you keep perspective, 2019 was a pivotal year for the pro-life movement. Because 2019 was a year that the United States of America crossed that inevitable line that when you say you are going to dehumanize a segment of our population, which Roe v. Wade did in 1973, they changed what it meant to be an American. And once we did that, there were no rules set on when we're comfortable with abortion. Is it 12 weeks? Is it 6 weeks? Is it 25 weeks? Is it 40 weeks? And Roe v. Wade allows abortion through all 40 weeks, which puts us in a very shameful category with just a few other countries, including Canada, Vietnam, North Korea, and China. And our country, the states in our country, have always, to some level, regulated abortion where nobody was doing an abortion at 38 weeks, 39 weeks, or on the day of birth. And that changed in 2019 when we saw not fringe people out in the streets screaming about reproductive rights or anything like that. It wasn't those people who were advocating for abortion on the day of birth or not offering medical alternatives to a baby girl who survived an abortion. It wasn't the fringe. It was governors and those in the media who are supposedly educated and sophisticated and who dress well and who seem nice, calmly advocating for this and even celebrating that they could do abortions through all 40 weeks. And we saw this wave across our country in 2019 that showed where we are and showed where we aren't as a nation. And there's a lot of momentum in the pro-life movement. We have a lot to celebrate. We celebrated a lot on October 29th for First Coast, because they are a great example of why abortion is ending in the United States of America. I mean, over half of all the abortion facilities have closed since 1991 because of people like you who have supported local pregnancy medical centers, and they don't have one location, they have 5. And that is detrimental to the abortion industry. That's one of the reasons we see so many abortion facilities close over the last 30 years. But just in the last 10 years, whether we've had a pro-abortion president or a pro-life president, we have seen Planned Parenthood locations close. We've seen Planned Parenthood close 36% of their locations just in the last decade. And so that is awesome, because it speaks to not only where we are as a nation, but it speaks to the heart of the matter, which is no woman grows up wanting an abortion. No boyfriend grows up wanting to drive his girlfriend or his wife into an abortion facility. And when you build a pregnancy center, when you offer free ultrasounds like First Coast does, when you provide these professional facilities, which, by the way, are night and day compared to walking into the lobby of a Planned Parenthood. When you provide that, the human heart can't help but take advantage of it. And that's why we see the abortion rates going down, and that's why we see abortion facilities close their doors. And we've seen it through our efforts at 40 Days for Life, our 40-day campaigns of prayer, fasting, and peaceful vigils outside of abortion facilities. Florida is one of the largest states for 40 Days for Life. I spend a lot of time in Florida, and so many times we get these beautiful reports of when a 40 Days for Life campaign is going on, and women turn around at the very last moment. We are able to offer them one of your many pregnancy resource centers, not only here in Jacksonville, but throughout your entire state. And that means that it's not a cliche to say that this work is about hearts and minds. It really is about hearts and minds at the local level. That is what is saving lives in the United States of America, and that is what is ending abortion. Because right now, pregnancy resource centers like First Coast outnumber abortion providers 5 to 1. It's a beautiful statistic that we can't say enough, because it speaks to the heart of the pro-life movement, and it speaks to wonderful leaders like Judy and so many across Florida and the United States who could be doing so many other things, but have decided that they will take on the greatest injustice in our land, that 56 million abortions worldwide is not going to paralyze them. It's going to make them fall to their knees, trust the mercy, love, and fortitude of Jesus Christ, and get to work. And that's exactly what's happening here in Jacksonville. And so you should be very grateful. Never take for granted what you have in First Coast, because they're not they are at the high tier of pregnancy resource centers. I've been everywhere a billion times at this point in the pro-life movement just the last 15 years, and they are one of the best and well-organized pregnancy resource centers in the country. It is no wonder they have 5 locations and a mobile unit, which is a huge operation in and of itself. And it is due to your generosity and your willingness to donate your hard-earned money to this. And it is changing hearts and minds. It's not only saving lives, but we have seen through this trend abortion facility workers having a change of heart and leave their jobs. And I know this all too well, as we've helped 206 abortion facility workers who have had a conversion during a 40 Days for Life campaign outside their facility. And Abby Johnson was my Planned Parenthood director, where we started 40 Days for Life in College Station, Texas, and we had an office next door. We offered free ultrasounds, we offered free pregnancy tests, and after she was asked to witness an abortion and help with an ultrasound-guided abortion, she had a conversion and came right over to our office. And her book and her movie, Unplanned, if you've seen Unplanned, it is accurate. It's accurate. The good, the bad, and the ugly in that movie is accurate. And that's what makes it so powerful. And I encourage you, if you haven't seen it, do watch it, because you will be more proud of being part of this beautiful pro-life movement when you see the story of specific individuals whose lives have completely turned around, like Abby's did. I mean, she was the 2008 Planned Parenthood Employee of the Year. We used to do media interviews against one another's point, and you know, it's just beautiful to see her conversion and her willingness to leave. And that speaks to something very unique that we have in the United States of America, which is that this is not over. We've had nearly 5 decades of legalized abortion, and yet at the heart of every election, of a judicial nomination, or even a sermon, it strikes the heart like no other issue. We have not gotten over abortion, and woe the day that we do. Thank God we haven't, and it's because we've done the opposite. We haven't lived with abortion. We've said this is simply unacceptable in the United States of America, that we will once again have our Supreme Court dehumanize an entire segment of our population, deny science so that we can control that part of the population. And so This is a beautiful movement, but it's one that continues to grow. And so I want to encourage you to donate. This is obviously on the internet, so you don't have to. You can turn this off. But I encourage you to go to the donate link on this website, and you know what you can give. And I encourage you to stretch yourself. 2020 has been a crazy year in so many ways, but it's also been a time when abortions in our nation have gone up. The abortion rate hit an all-time low in 2019, and it's gone up in 2020 because abortion survives on fear, and we've had a lot of fear this year. And so whether you can give $5,000 or $10,000 or $100 or $25, you know the amount you can give. Please give it. Please give it. It stays here in Jacksonville. It goes to the front lines, and it makes a tremendous difference. You also have the advantage of giving to a proven, credible ministry that knows what they're doing. And you are very blessed to have First Coast here in Jacksonville. So please go, give generously. If you're already a monthly donor, add 10, 20, 50 bucks a month onto your donation. If you are not currently a monthly donor, this is the time so that they can plan for entering into 2021. This is the time to give monthly. Whether you start at $10, whether you start at $100 a month, it's $1,200 for them to sponsor a mom. So you could give $100 a month and help sponsor a woman in her pregnancy. But start that giving. That allows Judy and her team to not run around and fundraise all year, but to focus on their mission because they know what's coming in those monthly donations. So yes, give a one-time gift today, but also make a pledge that can start next month so that you can give monthly, whether it's 25 bucks a month or 50 bucks a month. You will not regret it, and you will literally get to see the fruit of your donation, your sacrificial gift, through the eyes of a baby. You know, if you keep up with First Coast and are able to physically, God willing, attend this banquet next year. So thank you for your support. Continue to pray for First Coast. I know they are praying for all of their donors. You make it possible for them to do this beautiful work, and God is using this and multiplying it. So thank you. God bless you, and keep everyone in the pro-life movement in your prayers.